what's up guys? It is Josh Thomas here from TheBitBlock, and I wanted to pop in really quick to do a little video where I discuss my thoughts of the new downloadable content that has been announced for The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. It was just announced this morning by Mr. Aonuma, of course the producer and I think director as well of... No, I think he's just a producer on The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. But anyways, it's interesting. To say the least. So I want to go over what Nintendo has told us, all the the press release here, and then I'll give you guys my thoughts. Hopefully I have more than one thought. I think I might have multiple thoughts on this. Stay tuned. Anyways, so Nintendo is calling this the Expansion Pass, and on March 3rd, you'll be able to buy it for $19.99 here in North America, 20 bucks. And right away on March 3rd, when you buy it, you will get 3 new treasure chests that will appear in the Great Plateau area of the game, and they will contain useful items, and also they will include exclusive in-game clothing. And then the 2 DLC packs are this. In the summer of this year, DLC Pack 1 will add a new Cave of Trials challenge, a new hard mode, and an additional map feature. Then in the holiday season of this year, so this is a ways off, this is DLC Pack 2, you will get a new original story, new dungeon, and additional challenges. So those are the facts. That's what we know. That's what Nintendo has announced. Here's my opinion. I think it's very weird for any video game company to announce DLC prior to their game's release. I don't think this was the best timing for Nintendo. I don't think it was smart to be like, hey, game's not even out yet, but we want you to give us some more money. We're already working on more content or something like that. I don't think Nintendo is ripping us off in any way here. I just think it seems really weird to be like, there's gonna be DLC, here's what it is. And they didn't show us anything as well. I should probably point out there's no screenshots, there's no videos, there's no concept art, it's just text. So they didn't even show the DLC. I think it's weird to announce DLC before a game's released. It's just, I don't know, that seems odd to me. Not the best timing. I think they should have announced this DLC in the springtime after the game was released, maybe have a Nintendo Direct before E3 in very early May or something like that. That would have been the time to announce this. Not 3 weeks before the game comes out. I feel like there's other stuff, there are other things Nintendo could be talking about, like the online and the virtual console, the eShop, showing us the menus, the interface, not DLC for Zelda. Having said that, I think there is some cool stuff here. You can unfortunately not buy the packs separate. I don't have a lot of interest in Pack 1. Pack 2 is the pack that I would want. It's got a new original story. That sounds interesting. That means there would be more voice acting, more cutscenes, stuff like that, and, new areas to explore. That's the weird thing. What does new original story mean? Does that mean just that should mean new gameplay? Because surely the story is driven by gameplay, so I guess they're just gonna somehow squirt a new story into this world. I don't know how that's gonna work, but that's something that sounds interesting to me. New dungeon, absolutely, of course. I want dungeons. I don't really like the shrines in this game based on what I've seen so far. So the dungeons is really more of what I want in this game. So I like the idea of getting a new dungeon. Additional challenges sounds too vague for me to really care. I don't know what that even means. Some of these things are vague, like additional map feature is included in DLC Pack 1. What does that even mean? What's an additional map feature? Is it something that will be useful? And if it's useful, why not just put that in the game to begin with? So yeah, the Cave of Trials challenge, let's just go over these DLC packs one by one. I'm kind of jumping around here. But DLC Pack 1, it adds a new Cave of Trials challenge. I don't really like that so much because I think it's a very reasonable complaint to say, well, the Cave of Trials stuff was free in the game when you bought it for Twilight Princess and Wind Waker. I can't remember if Skyward Sword had one, but generally Cave of Trials stuff is a feature that's just in the game to begin with. So to have to pay for that separate is kind of strange. A new hard mode. Hard mode is usually included as well. Once you beat the game, once you beat a Zelda game, there's usually you've unlocked the hero mode, but now we gotta pay for that, it seems. And then, like I said, additional map feature, I don't even know what that means. They don't really go into detail, so I can't really comment on that much. So Pack 1 feels like content that should have been in the game to begin with, based on the fact that that stuff is usually in the games to begin with. Of course, not every Zelda game has had those, but The more recent ones definitely have those included. The thing is, though, we don't know. Maybe there is a Cave of Trials challenge already in the game, and this is a new one. Maybe there is sort of a hard mode, and this is just a new take on it. There's just too much vagueness with this DLC stuff. There's just like small little snippets, so I don't really know how I would feel about that. If there is, in fact, no Cave of Trials, and there is no like hard hero mode, I think that's a bit weird. They've been developing this game for 5 years, so in 5 years you couldn't put like a Cave of Trials challenge somewhere in the world? I don't know. But I'm not offended by it. I don't think it's a huge problem. I don't really think it's something to complain a lot about, but it is worth pointing out that those are things that traditionally were free, included in the price of a Zelda game to begin with. DLC Pack 2, like I said, is something that I think is much more interesting. I already said I think the story could be really cool, but I wonder if the new original story, like, does that also include new original game? I'm not sure. I think the story, obviously, now that I think about it, will relate to the new dungeon that is included in this pack. So I like that. I like everything about DLC Pack 2. Additional challenges, okay, whatever. I don't know what that means. I don't know what they are. I don't know how they're going to be implemented, but additional challenges is a good thing. So yeah, I guess what I'm saying here is DLC Pack 1 is not something I'm really interested in. I'm not even interested in the bonuses you get on March 3rd when you buy it, like the useful items and the clothing. I don't really care. So yeah. Oh, I should point out, right when you buy this for $20, if you buy it, you will get stuff right away on March 3rd or whenever you choose to buy it. They give you the useful items that you find in treasure chests. Those are going to be things that probably already exist in the game that you can get anyways, but they're just giving them to you. It's sort of like the amiibo functionality probably. So like if you scanned an amiibo, you get some useful things. Sounds like it's just going to be sort of that. And then the in-game clothing we found out is actually going to be a Nintendo Switch shirt for Link to wear. Which I don't really like. I know that sounds, I'm not complaining, but I think it sounds really dumb. To me, I really want to believe this world. I really want to believe the story, really believe the characters. And if Link is running around in a modern video game t-shirt, that's really dumb to me. I think that really kind of takes me out of the experience a bit, so I don't want that. Of course, I don't need to have it. I don't need to buy it. It's an option. It's optional. And even if I did buy this DLC, I don't have to wear it. But yeah, I just think it sounds really dumb. If it's like it's going to be the Nintendo Switch logo on Link's shirt. They haven't shown it, but that's what they've said. If it's just the Joy-Con silhouettes, then I think that's kind of okay. But if it literally says like Nintendo Switch, I think that's going too far and stupid. But it's not a problem. I just think it's dumb. I wouldn't have done that. I think it takes you out of the world a bit. But again, I'm not complaining. If you like it, cool. If you don't like it, cool. I can see both sides of that argument. So yeah, I think the DLC is a good idea, but I don't think it's a good idea to announce it before the game comes out. And I do think they should allow you to buy them separate. I think Nintendo might know that DLC Pack 1 is kind of dumb, and DLC Pack 2 is the one people would probably want, but they're going to make you buy both of them to get more money off of you. So yeah, I don't know, in the end, I can see how people would have some complaints about this, but at the same time, I don't really think it's anything worth totally complaining about, because it doesn't sound like they actually... it really comes down to what this game is, right? I will be able to look at this DLC stuff more accurately after I've beaten the game, and I think that's when I'm going to decide whether or not I want to buy it. Once I've played Breath of the Wild for 20, 30 hours, I've beaten it or whatever, then I'll be able to say, oh, okay, do I want the Cave of Trials? Do I want a hard mode? Do I need some sort of new map feature? Do I want another dungeon or another story? I think by holiday season I will want another dungeon and a little bit of story and stuff. So yeah, I just think it's poor timing on Nintendo's part. Maybe wait until we've played the game and beaten it. Kind of cool stuff. I'm really more interested in DLC for multiplayer titles, because like, for example, Mario Kart. DLC in Mario Kart I like because that gives me more content to play through multiplayer. I'm not really as big on DLC for single player stuff like The Legend of Zelda. And of course, I do somewhat worry that this might set a precedent for Nintendo to where they're just putting DLC into every game, even when it's not really necessary. This game's been being worked on for 5 years, and I would like to think it's got a ton of content in it already. So we'll see. At the end of the day, I just kind of feel like this is poorly timed announcement. Some of this sounds cool. Some of it sounds like stuff that probably should have been in the game to begin with, but not really anything too offensive or anything worth getting too excited about. Let me know what you guys think, though. This isn't all about my opinion and my thoughts. Leave a comment below and let me know. I can't wait to see how dumb Link looks wearing a Nintendo Switch shirt. But yeah, hey guys, keep it locked right here to the BitBlock for a lot more coverage on all things Nintendo. Let me know. Are you buying the DLC? Are you angry about it? Are you cool with it? Do you not care? Leave a comment below.